What is good, my idol monglers? Today, I have a very special video for you. Now, I do this every single month, the manga reading log. I didn't read as much manga as I wanted to, but I read, I think around 21 volumes or something like that. That's big for me. 21 volumes is big for me. For other people, it's not as big. I hear people reading 70 volumes a month. That's big for them. For me, 21 volumes is big. And I don't know, we'll just hop right into it. Before we hop right into it, let me preface two things. One, if you haven't seen these videos, I go through what I read this month based on the worst and the best thing. So the first thing I talk about will be the worst. The best thing I talk about, or the last thing I talk about will be the best. Second, this might be the greatest month of manga I've ever had. Like, no joke. I honestly, usually every month I read a volume that I didn't think was very good or I genuinely thought was like bad. All of these were at least 7 out of 10s. And that's not normal. Almost, I swear to God, every single month I have a volume or a series that was a 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10, like just not very good. I didn't really enjoy that much. Every single one of these volumes that I read, I enjoyed. To its fullest. To its fullest. So, whatever I talk about here, just know, no matter how much I insult it or whatever, just know I liked it. Because a 7 out of 10 is very high for me. So, yeah, let's just start off with the first manga here, which I actually read 2 volumes of, because volume 13, I think, just released around there. It is Record of Ragnarok, volumes 12 and 13. I binged, like, volumes 1 through 6 a while ago, and then I read volumes 7 through, like, 10 or something like that a while ago as well. And this series is really good. This series is so, it's like, I don't know, a lot of people talk about this manga like it's just fights or it's just 2 manly men fighting to the death or whatever. When I read it, it's so much more than that. And it talks a lot about like, I don't even know, like a lot of themes about what it means to fight and why do these certain gods and humans fight with each other and what is their reason to fight. And I love how they're like representing their like own race. I really love that idea. It is so cool. And just the different matchups that happen in this manga are great. And this matchup was also incredible. Like legit, like the Japanese Jesus versus literal Satan. I mean, come on, bro. That's so good. And the theme presented in this fight of what does it mean to be happy and how can you strip yourself of all your necessities to be happy and going out of your way to help people and all this other like great stuff that I really, really enjoyed. It's just translated so well and the pacing is incredible. The fight is incredible. Like there's some real sense of stakes. Now, I never thought Buddha would lose because come on, this is a Japanese. That would be like if they included Jesus and Jesus lost. Like they're gonna make Jesus win. They're gonna make Buddha win. But oh my God, was this just a great fight? It was so fun, so captivating. I enjoyed the shit out of it. All right, next volume that I read. This is one volume, and this is actually part of the recommendations video that I'm doing. So I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but we have Detroit Metal City, or DMC. This manga, I'll just tell like what the manga is about. It's basically about this guy who grew up in this very small like rural village, goes to Tokyo to go find his dreams, go chase his dreams of becoming a singer-songwriter, and all of his songs are shit. They're all about like this lovey-dovey shit. It's so ass. Everyone hates them. So instead of that, he becomes this guy right here, Detroit Metal City, this guy, and he's a fucking lunatic. Like, this manga is so funny, it's so crass, like, the humor is, so, I don't even know. Like, the humor is so just, it feels like The Boys, but on steroids. Like, it's insane. Genuinely, this manga is great. I had a lot of fun with it. I do think, though, I think there's like 8 or something. I don't know how many volumes there are, but there's a lot of volumes. The gimmick kind of lost its value after a little bit of the volume. Like, I'd get like here, like at this part of the volume, and I'd be like, I kind of get the gimmick already. You know, it's not as fun as it was before. I'm not really enjoying it as much as I did at the beginning. And I really don't know how that's going to translate over a bunch of volumes. It's going to have to change a lot of stuff up. Maybe more people find out that he's like the DMC guy. Yeah, DMC finds out that he's the DMC guy, and you know, maybe like more people, you know, will discover it, and there will be a lot more drama. I don't know how the continue this manga is gonna work, but this first volume captivated me to shit. It was insane. It was actually insane. All right, next I got a 4-volume manga that is actually about to end in 1 volume. It's actually pretty close, I think. I think volume 11 is the final volume, and that is Candy. I'm not even gonna see that. Candy and Cigarettes. Maybe I should come up closer. It doesn't matter. Candy and Cigarettes, volume 7, 8, 9, and 10. This series, honestly, we're getting to the climax of this manga. This series hasn't really been anything special for me. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the action. Like, there's a lot of stuff I enjoy, but it's never captivated me like other manga have that, you know, are on this list. But this climax definitely did. We're getting to the high points of the series where a lot of stuff is happening. A lot of character arcs are finishing up. You know, there's a lot more substance in the story. And yeah, these last 4 volumes did it for me. I don't know. It was just good. It was just plainly really, really good. And it's ending off a pretty decent manga. Series, manga, whatever. Next, I have Trillion Game, volume 3. This is one of those manga that I just started picking up, and it's just been getting better and better. I mean, I think it came out like September 2024, and after a while, it's just been improving. Like each and every volume, it's been getting better. Volume 4 is coming out in like March, I think, or February, so that's gonna be exciting. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying this one as well. About like these fucking 2 guys who like decide to be trillionaires. I actually am confused. Are they like going for Japanese trillionaires where they're like making Japanese yen, so it's like really you're a billionaire, you're not really a trillionaire? Or is it like American trillionaire where it's like you're the first trillionaire to ever exist, like you have the most money ever? Is that like what it means? Like I don't really understand that. But yeah, the series is so creative. The characters are so funny. They're so charismatic. We get introduced to this new cast of characters because they're gonna create like a game company, like a mobile game company, and they're just really fun. They have great chemistry with each other, and honestly, this manga just takes so many turns that I never thought it would, and I enjoy every single bit of it. So yeah, that's Trillion Game. It is really good. All right, next I got a series I don't even know if I can say the title of, but I'm gonna do it anyway for the sake of the video. We have a Dog Ningen, or it used to have another title. I can't say it. It was Dog something else. It used to have a different title. It was not my title. Yeah, this series is complicated because like I'm reading it and I'm like, the art is shit. The story doesn't make any sense. I don't care for the characters. There's nothing I enjoy about this manga, but I have to admit I'm having a fun ass time. I had so much goddamn fun with this manga. It is so funny. The pacing is fantastic. The art, well, yes, the images look shit. Like, it's just so wall to the wall bonkers. Like, holy shit. I didn't know you could have fun with manga, man, until this shit came around. Like, even though after every fucking story, after every fight, like legit, this story starts off with this guy being like, hey, I'm a guy. My dad forced himself on a dog, and then that birthed me. And so my plan is to rape my dad, find him and rape him. But then his dad is also like a guy who owns assassins or whatever. So this assassin guy goes to fight him, and then they just have a giant ass fight for the entire fucking volume. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then it gets like really serious and really sad. And we go to this guy's backstory, and I'm like, why is this shit so sad? Like, oh my goodness. And then it literally gives me the craziest fucking dialogue I've ever read. This is like the biggest shit post, but it's like low-key good. Like, it's low-key good. I don't know how to talk about this because it's so energetic. It is like so energetic, and it's such like it's so attractive. I don't know how to like, attractive definitely isn't the right word, but you get what I mean, where it's like, I'm just like, this manga just like radiates aura. It radiates aura. I swear to God, it radiates aura. Yeah, that's Ningen. I'm definitely reading this, and I didn't even have to talk about it this much because it's gonna be in the recommendation video. I'm gonna talk about this more. So, yeah, whatever. It's whatever. Okay, next we have a series. I was actually debating between lower, higher than Ningen, but it is Blue Lock Episode Nagi, Volume 2. Yeah, this series is incredible. I don't know how to talk about this one. So it's kind of hard to talk about it because it's kind of riding the coattails of what Blue Lock is. And I feel like if you haven't read Blue Lock, you won't really like this. And I don't really know how to talk about like a side story. I don't know how to like judge it. I mean, I mostly judge all these manga based off my enjoyment, and I am enjoying this, so I rated it highly. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying this a lot. Like, it is hard to write this kind of manga when, when, you know, your first and foremost manga, Blue Lock, the entire cast is fun. Like, the 11 characters on the team, besides Yuda Imamura, I remember that motherfucker, besides that guy, and Kuon, that entire team is enjoyable. Like, they're fun. They have good chemistry with each other. They have great character designs. But, you know, when you're first making that manga and you write another team that does not have good character designs besides, you know, the three main players, like, what do you do? How do you make a side manga out of that? And I'm really liking the direction they're taking. Oh, excuse me. I'm really liking the relationships between Zantetsu, Reo, Nagi. I'm really enjoying that stuff. And I do like how they're developing it. So when we get to the actual match in the main manga, it's like, okay, I see like these characters actually developed. They actually grew. It wasn't this, they just stampede their entire way through. Like, they actually grew as a team. They, you know, became better friends and stuff, and I really, really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed Zantetsu's backstory. His backstory was incredible. I don't know, the backstories in Blue Lock, the way the author writes them, are just so good. Like, he'll take these very cartoonish characters, these very, like, one-note characters, and he'll put them in, like, very realistic world scenarios where it's kind of depressing. Like, there's one panel in here where his entire gimmick is that he's stupid or whatever, that he's not smart, but there's one panel in here where he's trying to read like a book in front of the class, and the class is making fun of him, and it just felt so real to put a character that is so cartoonishly stupid in a world where in our average real life realistic world where if someone's dumb, he's gonna get made fun of, you know, like, especially in a school when he's very young. And it's just like that stuff gravitates me towards this manga and just makes it even better. Like, I really like aspects like that, and it makes Blue Lock so much better. Episode Nagi, though. Okay, next we have a manga I started at the start of this month, and it is 3 volumes of Dr. Stone, volumes 9, 10, 11. I do own this entire thing. I probably should start like trying to finish it by the end of this year. I definitely do want to finish it by the end of this year because I'm enjoying the shit out of it. But yeah, I mean, this manga is just overall incredible. There's so many aspects of this manga. By the way, same author, Trillion Game, which is pretty cool. Same author. But there's so many aspects of this manga that I just enjoy, like, on a front level scale. So many things that collide with each other. We're reaching like a big climactic moment in these 3 volumes, and it was so enjoyable. The characters are great. The character relationships are great. The art is incredible. Like, and then just the premise of them having to rebuild this world that was recently destroyed is so good. And especially in these 3 volumes, we're getting a lot more development for a lot of certain characters. And then the main antagonist gets a lot of development, and it's great. I can definitely see like the worldviews building up there, and I love his ending. And there's just so many moments in this manga that just feel so heartwarming. It's so good. It is so good, and the characters are so good, and the character designs are so good. Like, as much as this is glaze or whatever, it's so good. It's just an incredible read. I can't think of many things that I disliked about this manga. Genuinely. I can't. All right, next, we have a manga that has been very highly anticipated for me to read. I mentioned it in my reading for 24 hours video, that I read 2 volumes of this. And I wanted to read volume 3, but I didn't yet. But I read 2 volumes of this, and I had a very fun time. And those 2 volumes were Berserk. Berserk, volumes 1 and 2. If you don't know, this is probably the most well-known manga for being the greatest manga of all time. And I read 2 volumes of this, and yeah, they were great. Like, I don't really see it. I don't see the greatest manga in the world allegations yet, or shouts, I guess. I don't see them yet, but like this manga has like unlimited potential for me. I enjoy the world like 100%. The art is incredible. The main character, I'm really enjoying Guts as a main character. Like, I like how he's just kind of an asshole and he's super cocky, and I do think that's gonna show like a great deal of growth from him. Like, I do like that Guts is like, he just doesn't care about people. Like, it's not even like a brooding trying to hide himself, like him trying to like protect other people from being evil or whatever. Nah, he's just been down this road so many goddamn times, he just doesn't even care anymore. Like, I really like that about Guts. I really like the little fairy dude. I forgot his name, but I really like Fairy Good. He's a great contrast and a great foil to Guts. They have great juxtaposition there. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this manga that I'm really, really enjoying. I love this guy's weapon. I love the world. The monsters are so good. Like, I don't have a lot of problems with this manga. I feel like my only issue is just that we haven't gotten into any, like, good villains yet. And I know, like, Griffith. I know who Griffith is. I know that guy's going to be pretty soon on the way, but... And we're going to see him, and he's going to be pretty cool. But right now, this world is very black and white, and I don't really appreciate that. But, like, oh my, just looking at this art, it's so good. Like, just flipping. Here, I'll literally take the volume, flip it to a random page. I'm not even saying it. Look at that art, bro. Oh my goodness, that art is so good. Yeah, that is Berserk, volumes 1 and 2. It is genuinely incredible. And we're like, I talked about like 5 or 6 manga, they're all 8 out of 10s. Like, this is genuinely the greatest month of manga I've ever had in my entire life. Maybe last year, February 2024 was incredible. This one, it hit. All right, next, I have a manga that it just keeps getting better and better, but also kind of keeps getting worse and worse. I don't know. This manga is so unique. It's so good. It's so fun. I just don't know how to talk about it. It's the Fable, obviously. Volume 5. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. Volume 1 was definitely a standout, just how unique it was. But this could be a new favorite of mine. Genuinely. If this shit somehow makes me cry, like, emotionally, it'll get into my top 20 so easily. It might already be there. It might already be in my top 20. It might already be in my top 10. No, not my top 10. But it's so close. Genuinely. Count how many times I say genuinely in this damn video. Because holy shit was this volume good. Like, all the characters are great. The pacing is fucking perfect. The main character I absolutely love. The writing is great. Oh my goodness, bro. Like, it's just so good. It's just so good. I'm flipping through it right now, and I'm enjoying the absolute shit of it. It's like a manga that was legit built for me. It like actually feels like that. Fuck the Fable. You know, fuck that manga. All right, next I have a manga that is very well known for being very well good. And that manga is Innocent, volumes 1 and 2. I read both of these manga, and this manga, it's like, how do I explain this? I guess I'll talk about it. It's kind of like Breaking Bad, where like, well, Breaking Bad, I've just been rewatching it recently, so that's why I'm talking about it. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it just feels like I'm on a higher plane of intelligence. Like, that sounds pretentious as shit. I know it does. But in my opinion, this manga is like on a higher, it feels like I'm reading art. All these manga are art. Every single manga in my collection is art. But it feels like I'm reading something that could be in a damn museum. The art is some of the best art I've ever seen. This is one of those manga you could turn to any page. I don't want to, because there's probably going to be some porn on here, because there's a lot of scenes where people are naked. It literally feels like any page could be here, I'll just turn to a random page, make sure there's no nudity. Okay, there's no nudity. But like, look at this art, bro. Look at that. Look at this art. Isn't this art like incredible? Like, it's so good. It takes place during like the French Revolution, was like one of the most popular wars. The relationship between fucking Charles and his sister is so good. The themes of rebellion and the themes of making a difference and being different and what that holds to your family name are so good. I love the world of the French Revolution. It's incredible. That one scene where that guy gets executed is it's so genuinely perfect. It's so good. It almost made me cry too, seeing his son there and everything. It was so well written and so well just brought up and so well paced. Like it felt like I don't even know. I don't know. It's so good. Like just everything that it holds, everything that it touches, it's gold, bro. I swear to God, this is gonna be one of my new favorites, and I think it's ending at volume 3, and I think there's a sequel manga, which will be cool. I don't know if that one will get released, but like manga like Blue Giant and The Breaker, they have sequel manga. They haven't gotten released yet, but hopefully Innocent is one of those manga that get a sequel. Volume 1 and Volume 2 were like kind of perfect volumes in my eyes. All right, next. I can't believe I have this at 3. Real fans of the channel will know it is insane that I have this volume at 3. Because I just read so much good shit this month. And this volume is The Boxer Volume 9. If you don't know, first off, cool ass cover. This guy's sick as hell. If you don't know, The Boxer is my second favorite manga of all time. It's not changing, by the way. Just because his volume's at number 3, I still rated it like a 10 out of 10. Like nothing changed. Nothing changed. I don't know. This fight, I think it's this match, it's not as good as I wanted it to be. Like, it's very good, but there's a huge emphasis on who's going to win. I don't really, I kind of expected you to win. Like, I think he's going to win. Like, if he doesn't, I'd be kind of, not disappointed, but I'll be shocked. But, like, I know there's a huge emphasis on who's going to win. I never thought you wouldn't win. I always thought Aaron Tide would lose. I always thought he would, get his tragic backstory. And he does get, like, a sad backstory. And it's very sad. It's, incredible. And then Kay gets a sad backstory. Kay's backstory is fucking incredible. There's a lot of Kay development in here. The setup to the fight is really good. How, Carmen has to, come to these, to Aaron and his wife and be like, I need you to beat him so he can leave Kay and, doesn't have to deal with anything else. I really enjoyed that. And again, The Boxer, some of the greatest imagery I've ever read, some of the greatest just art I've ever read. There's The Boxer's still there. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's still there, and the themes are incredible, and the imagery is incredible, and the things it talks about are fantastic. I love the way this manga is written. I just love the way it's described. It's still a 10 out of 10 volume. It just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I wish it was more of they set it up as a who's going to win, and then during the fight, it's you demolishes Aaron Tide. That's what I kind of hoped for. But I do think it's going to be I think that's going to happen in Volume 10, where Volume 10 is going to be you starts demolishing him, and then, or you has to come back and he has to be more of a monster. Because that's kind of his imagery he is ripping away pieces of humanity from himself to beat these people. And he's stripping himself away from everything that he holds dear. And I think that's symbolic with, his cat being very old and dying and stuff. So I do think we're going to get that in the 10th volume, but as a standalone volume, Volume 9, just wasn't as good as I wanted to. Still a 10 out of 10 volume. Don't get me wrong, still a 10 out of 10. Just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. All right. After that, we have a volume that I did not think would get here. I read Volume 1, and I genuinely thought this volume would get worse. I will tell you, number 1, honestly, somewhat obvious, but kind of not really. This is insane that this got up here. It's verses. This volume was so good, I cried. I cried because of how good this shit was. There wasn't a sad, there were sad moments in this. Not because of a specific sad moment. Not because there was, huge triumphant victory or a huge fucking despairing defeat. I cried because of the high quality of this manga. How do I explain this? Well, first off, let me just say the art of this manga is incredible. The art is some of the best I've ever seen. I don't know who draws this manga. Who draws this shit? Kiyotaro Azuma. Round of applause to that guy. I need to read more of his manga because this art was so fucking good. The story is incredible. The characters are fantastic. They literally introduce a giant, like a cast of like 7 or 8 characters. I care about every single one because of the character designs. Immediately, there's one fucking dude who's like this big grandpa-ass guy. He dies. I was so sad. He literally had like 3 lines in the manga. I was crying, bro. That shit was sad as hell. Like this manga is so good. The writing, oh my god, the writing is, the way characters speak to each other is fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. And the ending of this volume is so good. It is so goddamn good. I'm loving the world. The premise is the best premise I've ever fucking read in manga. I kid you not. If you take anything from this video, and I know you are because you're 26 goddamn minutes in, if you take anything from this video, buy Versus. 2 volumes are out. Each volume is $14. It's not, I mean, it's expensive. Don't get me wrong, it's expensive. You could also, honestly, you know, I shouldn't be promoting this. Read it illegally. Read it illegally online. You know? Read it illegally. Just do that, bro. If you take anything in this video, take it as read Versus. It's the next manga to make my top 10. If Blue Lock falls off, or maybe I go back to Slam Dunk and it wasn't as good, or whatever, you know, maybe these lower manga, or maybe, you know, I go back to Alice in Borderland and it wasn't as good, I don't know. This is the next manga to do it. It is, unpopular opinion, it is clear, so goddamn clear, of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho, his other 2 manga. It is so clear, it's not even funny. It's like his reel. If that makes sense. You know, Takahiko Inoue, he wrote Vagabond and he wrote Slam Dunk, and then he finished it off with Real, and Real is kind of like his, like, is this his best manga? In my opinion, it's his best manga. This is his Real, where it's like, yeah, he made these other 2 incredible manga. He is finally a complete author with this. He's made his holy trinity, and this is the magnum opus. This is it. This is the best manga of all time. And if volume 3, I swear to God, if volume 3 is even better, I'm buying the entire manga in Japanese. I don't care. I will go on eBay and I will buy the rest of it in Japanese. I will learn all of Japanese just so I can read it quicker. I don't care. I don't. This manga is so goddamn good. I don't care. Now, you're probably wondering, I just glazed the fuck out of that last volume. So what do I have at number 1? And it's kind of easy. Honestly, it is very funny that I thought this manga would fall off. Because it proved me wrong and then some. And that manga is Blue Period volumes 14 and 15. Kind of sad this volume is pretty thin. This volume is, like, look at these 2 volumes together. The volume 15 is pretty thin. But, yeah, so going into this manga, I was on the headlines of, like, I feel like Blue Period isn't as good as I thought it was. Like, I knew it was incredible, but top 10 material, my brain was like, I might have to drop it down a little bit just because I haven't been getting the same experience, and I haven't read it in like a year. So, you know, I don't really remember it that fondly. I read these 2 volumes, and it shut me up so quick. It shut me up so goddamn quick, it's not even funny. Like, the things that happen in this manga are so good. The experience of grief, the way the characters handle grief with themselves as well as the people around them is so good. The art is incredible. The paintings these characters making are just out of this world. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. The characters are so good. It just these 2 volumes take place in this one like small house, and it's some of the best writing I've ever read in my entire life. Yatoro Yaguchi he's probably my favorite protagonist of all time. Like, genuinely, He might be my favorite protagonist of all time. Like, it's just so raw, and it's so emotional. And this manga just has a way of bringing out the realest, most relatable, most anything emotions out of you. And it feels decrepit, and it feels uncomfortable. And I feel like that's why I love this manga so much, is because it's able to bring out these things in its readers that feel so, that feels so, I just don't even know how to explain it. It feels so, like, auspicious. I don't know. This manga, I just got a different vibe from it, and the facial expressions are so good, and the writing, oh my god, the writing is unspeakable. It is. I genuinely, when I read these 2 volumes, I was speechless. I was genuinely speechless. I didn't know how to rate it. I didn't know how to put it on my list. And I cried. I cried a lot when I finished these 2 volumes because of how goddamn good it was. Like, it's some of the best shit I've ever read. Genuinely. Now, is it saying my top 10? Absolutely. Is it in my top 5? Probably not. I still have some other manga ahead of it. Honestly, I'm probably going to move Your Lie in April down, because it's an incredible manga, but it's not as good as I thought it was. One Piece IQ is staying up there. The Boxer and The Horizon are going to stay up there. Real is probably ahead of it, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it came out with 2 perfect volumes. And volume 16, if it's better, I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I don't. So yeah, that is my January reading log. It went from incredible to masterpiece. So you can probably see why this is one of the greatest months I've ever read. Honestly, if Blue Lock came out this month, if Haikyuu came out this month, and The Boxer had a little bit of a better volume, I don't think I'd ever see a month better than this. It was so good. It was so good, at least what I've read. I'm done here. If you made it to the end of the video, drop a water bottle emoji in the comment section down below. I'm going to go film the wheel video now. The wheel video actually might come out before this. I'm going to go film that one, and then I'm going to film another video. I'm actually going to film like 5 videos in one. That's kind of been my plan, is just like, whenever I have time, like I have a day off today on Saturday, just film as many goddamn videos as possible in your amount. And I'm basically doing the 24-hour challenge, but recording videos instead of reading. Okay, bye. Thank you.